Yo, let's take the 1, 2, the 2, the 3, the 4. The good MCs and the hit. See they got everybody on their heads. And see they ain't gon' leave it till it's time. Now it's 1, 2, the 2, the 3, the 4. Hanging on my nigga Reds and the hit. And see they got everybody on their heads. And see they ain't gon' leave it till it's time. They come out. The what you niggas know about the third side. say the 1, 2, the 2, 3, the 4. The put MCs in the head. See the got everybody on the head. And see the hate gon' leave it to the side. Now there's 1 to the 2, the 3, the 4. Hanging on my nigga Reds in the head. See the got everybody on the head. See the hate gon' leave it to the side. They jump out. But what you niggas know about the dirty side?
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Mignon Show. I am your host, Mignon.
And I'm your co-host, Roz.
We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching right now on YouTube, please look down and subscribe.
Hit that
subscribe button. Yes, please subscribe to the channel. Guys, it is a new year. It is 2020, and we are so excited about so many things that's going to happen in this year. I'm telling you, it's going to be an amazing year, guys. So we have to keep dreaming. We have to keep thinking big and setting those goals and everything. And what I have learned, I'm going to say this, within the last 2 years, when it comes to goals, everything we want to do, we may not be able to get it all done. But let me tell you, don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget it. You may be a little off, but who say you are? Because God says we always in perfect timing, right? So just keep going, guys. Whatever those old dreams and stuff you got, go back and look at some of them books that you done wrote that stuff down with it and give it life, like a rebirth. You know, bring life to it because it still have to be manifested. So this year, 2020, we're going to be doing that. It's the year of perfect vision. So, guys, everything that we have been writing down and everything, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be manifested. But we got to stay focused, and we got to. It's hard when I say this because we have so many distractions in this world, but we just have to stay focused on what we're doing and know that, God is going to bring us through.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. So I am excited. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. First Monday of the new year.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Wow. 2020.
2020.
I'm about to go get my vision check. Make sure my eyesight is ready for this 2020 vision. Hey, Lisa, we see you watching. Hey, huh?
Yes. So, guys, and we always want to start our show off by talking about girl chat. So, since it was the new year coming in, so there's a lot of things going on. So, how was your weekend? How was your week?
Wow, weekend. It's go by so fast. Actually, everything is fine. Just I want to shout out my oldest son. I have been teaching him to move in silence.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't need to know what you're doing. Like, it's not for everybody to know what you're trying to do, because everybody who praying over you not really praying for you.
Honey, they praying.
Be careful about when people be like, I'm praying for you. When I say my prayers, I'm like, Lord, any of those prayers, it was not of you. Please remove them, because you don't know. But shout out to my oldest son. He has always wanted to be in the criminal justice field. And he is now, today was his first day in Charles County Correctional Officer.
Yay!
So I'm so proud of my baby, 20 years old, trying to keep his goals and what he always wanted to do. So Charles County, you got my baby.
Yes, that is amazing. Thank you. And I know he is so excited about that, because just to just see him on the journey that he was on to get here.
It was a process.
Yes, it was a process.
And I just want to say to all parents out there, because I know a lot of parents have seniors and they're talking about college and things like that. Be honest, okay? College is not for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Please be honest with that. Please do not make your child feel as though that they have to do this. My son did go to college, which I knew wasn't for him, but this is what he said he wanted to do. He went to college. He was a freshman, starting on the basketball team, was a starting freshman, all of that. Got his little heart broken and messed up. And he felt like he was a failure because he messed up in college. And then he sit down and told me after another semester of failing, like, Mommy, this is not what I want. And I said, then who told you had to do this? I'm going to do whatever it is you want to do. I'm going to give you the foundation. And then you're grown now. You have to make the decision. So please, please, please don't force your child into thinking that college is the only way. There are many, many successful people that do not have a college degree.
Absolutely.
Hence, I don't have one. And I believe that I'm very successful. I'm exactly where God wants me to be and still using me. So,
absolutely. And I always tell people when people talk about success, it depends on how you look at
exactly.
success. Somebody could be successful just by graduating high school.
Exactly.
You know
that was their goal.
Yeah,
don't knock that. You know, you making their plans for them. You like, so I'm so proud of him. So the weekend was more so just keeping his foundation, getting him prepared, and having those conversations with him because he is 20, so he is young and going into a grown man's thing, you know, to be in the detention centers and stuff like that. So the weekend was more so about, you know, just family. You guys know we're still really grieving the loss of my mom, so it's really still hard for us to do it. So we're just trying to learn how to cope and move and heal healthy. That's what we really trying to focus on. 85 days later, we had an aunt pass away yesterday, one of my great aunts. So it's like the wounds are just not healing on our time, you know, but I do know everything's in God's plan. So just keep us in prayers because we definitely trying to figure it out.
Absolutely. It takes time because this is a new norm for you. So you have to be able to function through these, especially these family times of holidays. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the year, every family is getting together and you notice those empty seats.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So believe me.
And it's funny you say that, and that's what people need. I apologize to the people who invite me to stuff and I don't show out and you guys feel some kind of way. It's not personal. It's something within me that I need to be able to deal with. This is a whole first of everything. First Christmas without my mom, first New Year without my mom. I'm not ready to party and celebrate and come around a whole lot of people. Like, I'm not ready yet, you know? So I apologize. I have been apologizing, but today is my last day apologizing. I'm not apologizing for being selfish with my time right now because I'm not mentally stable to be sitting amongst you and a whole lot of people right now.
That's why it's so important for us as a culture of people because we don't even know how to grieve. We don't even know how to deal with people that grieve. And all of us are grieving something and we still don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I be glad when enough people come together to say, you know what, we're going to always deal with death. Let's learn how to grieve properly and healthy so we can stop always assuming that somebody is acting funny or doing something. Let people live and be who they are.
And try to figure it out. I lost my mother unexpectedly. I have 4 children who are all in therapy sessions right now, crying. Like, I don't have time to try to appease to whatever it is you want me to come to when I'm just trying to make it through the day.
But see, because our culture don't even know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? We don't get therapy when someone dies in the family. They don't understand that loss is going to affect you for the rest of your life, and they expected you just to sweep it under the rug. Oh, grandma here today, but she gone, but ain't nobody in the house in the family saying, well, this is what's going on. Teaching them those 5 grieving steps so they can understand, why am I having these thoughts? Why am I thinking like this? Why am I feeling like this? But we grow up and we don't give the proper things we need to in our household.
Yep.
So we wouldn't even do that, and we wouldn't keep on asking people that just lost somebody, how you doing?
Please stop asking me that.
Yes.
I'm not okay. You don't need to ask me, am I okay? I'm not okay. I will never be okay. I'm going to learn how to deal, but I'm not okay. I'm 85 days in it today, losing my mom. So, no, I'm not okay. So don't ask me because I'm not okay. Yes. And every time you ask me, it's like just jabbing in it. Like, how do you expect me to be today? And
you know what? This is definitely going to be God-led today because I tell y'all, remember in 2018, when my grandmother died, and then my cousin died 2 weeks after that. Then like a month later, one of my best friends I grew up with had died. And I'm like, God, why are you showing me all this death like this? And I'm close personal because, you know, I was living with my grandmother in the house and watched her pass the transition from days. Death just don't just be like that. It's a process of death. And so just to watch that and be so close up on it, and then to see my friend, because remember I watched him die for 2 days, you know, and I'm like, God, why am I seeing all this like this? And that's when God started showing me about grief. that we don't know how to grieve.
I surely know I don't know
and
how.
We need to be taught that, because it causes so much pain in people's life that they don't even know that they grieving something. And to understand that grief is so serious that you'll get those same emotional effects, whether it's somebody die, whether you lose a relationship, lose a job, your dog died, all of that. So you have to learn how to grieve properly.
And I like my mother told me many things, but how to live without her is not one of the things that I learned. You know, that's not, and like you said, I watched my mom. Like, I was with her when she took her last breath, you know. That's a whole so when I go to sleep, I just keep seeing the same stuff over. So, you know, that's why I said today was the last day I'm going to stop apologizing for trying to heal properly within myself and trying to get, I'm not in counseling yet, which I will be soon, because I was so focused on getting my 4 children counseling first. You know, I'm a parent, so it's like I got to look out for my kids. But today, as I was driving here, I was like, you know what? I ain't sending no more apology texts. I'm not apologizing no more. Nobody, even if you lost a loved one, you don't know how I'm feeling, because the way you grieve and the way I grieve is two totally different things or whatever. I wanted empathy, like people that had not sympathy, but empathy for me. But people don't know the difference between the two. So I'm like, I ain't apologizing no more. I'm trying to be healthy for my children. My husband also was there and watched my mother pass away. You know what I'm saying? So it's like also, he's grieving also. So I'm just like, you know what? As I was driving here, I said, I'm going to say on the air, I apologize one more time. And that was it. The apology word was not coming from me anymore.
Absolutely.
Because I'm
and that's a part of your healing.
Yep.
That's a part of your healing. You need to get to that place, because I'm telling you, grief, when it's death, the death grief, it's no joke, because you are grieving a person that you love, that has walked on this earth, that has been here, and now in life we're taught to never say never, right? But when death comes, your mind now got to adjust to the word never. And that's traumatizing. That right there will send you into psychosis.
Yep.
Y'all know this God. I'm telling you, he helping somebody today. I'm telling you, it would definitely send you into psychosis, and people don't understand how thin that line is.
Trust me.
How thin that line is.
My life has, October the 12th at 10:45 p.m., my life has forever changed. And I'm still counting days. I know someone told me, you need to stop counting the days. That's not healthy. Healthy for who? Don't tell me what's healthy for me. Don't tell me how I need to heal. I'm really trying to figure it out, but don't come to me like, oh, you know, I go visit my mother's grave a lot. I sit there like, you shouldn't do that. Don't tell me what I shouldn't do. I'm really trying to figure out what I should do, but I don't need you telling me what I shouldn't do. You don't understand what I'm feeling, because I don't do what some people do. Like, I'm not getting drunk, I'm not getting high, I'm not doing all that, you know. So on the outside I'm looking like I'm still gonna exactly be so on the outside I'm looking like, oh, she's still going to work and she's still out in the community. No, on the inside I'm messed up. And my good friend, mentor, manager told me, listen, it's okay to not be okay. And then that's when I really realized, like, you know what, I'm not okay. And I need to be okay with not being okay. And whoever that affects around me, I'm sorry, but you can remove also from me, because I don't have enough energy. I need strong people around me because I'm weak right now. And so if I can't have weak people around me when this is the first time in my life that I had to deal with something like this, my mom, you know what I'm saying? I have kids that's waking up in the middle of the night crying, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just at a point where 2020 clear vision. Is that what it is? Perfect vision.
I say perfect vision.
Well, I need to go get my vision checked. I see I'm twisting a little lens a little bit so I can have perfect vision, or what it is that God has planned for me, what he needs me to do, so that I can heal properly, so that my children can heal properly, so that my husband can heal properly, because I'm someone I don't know anymore. I lost a part of myself, and I need to get a piece of it back so I can function properly. So.
Amen. And that's the truth. That's the truth right there in it all, is that you got to understand that, take the time for that. And no matter who say what, it's about you and your peace. This is your peace that you're seeking to find. And can't nobody else feel that but God. And God only going to take you alone. He only going to take you alone. Every time you hear from him, you alone. I can guarantee you that. So, yeah. So, guys, that was powerful. God was talking to somebody.
That was not even playing. Like, seriously.
Because I wanted to tell y'all about the situation I had over the weekend with Prince George's County Police Department. But next week, I'm going to get them. Okay? So, y'all, we're going to take a quick break. And when I come back, we're going to have our amazing guest here at the table. We're going to have Pastor L.K. Floyd of the Heart Changes Baptist Church out of Silver Spring, Maryland. We'll be right back.
Be right back, you guys.
Let's take the 1, 2, the 2, the 3, the 4. The good MCs in the hit. See they got everybody on the head. And see they ain't gon' leave it to the side. Now there's 1, 2, the 2, the 3, the 4. Hanging on my nigga Reds in the hit. See they got everybody on the head. And see they ain't gon' leave it to the side. They come out. But what you niggas know about the third side? Jackson, to do the girl on the third side. And Jose, to niggas go on the third side. And you got a song, thug, and a sad face. All the youngers on the heads. You see the ain't gon' leave it to the side. You see the 1, 2, the 2, the 3, the 4. You see them doors sound warriors when they hit the door. You see they got everybody on the heads. You see they ain't gon' leave it to the side. They come out. Hey, and what you niggas know about the dirty side? And Damian Jackson, what the niggas know about that dirty side? They don't know. Hey, know what the niggas know about that dirty side. David, you got a song. There's something I would do about it. Yeah. Never see. Come on. If you ride.
Glad to be on. Glad to be on.
Yeah. I haven't seen you in the new year.
I haven't seen you last year. It's been a long couple of New Years.
I haven't seen you in a couple of months, I think. Well, yeah, but it's I'm glad that you're here.
But I'm glad to be on. Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. We're excited to have you. You know, you are definitely a friend of ours and the show and everything, y'all. We love Pastor L.K. Floyd. He's a really good man. We love him. And he's doing his thing.
I appreciate it.
He's doing his thing. I remember when we first met, y'all, he was the youngest, and help me out, Pastor.
President of the Missionary Baptist Ministers Conference, Washington, D.C. and vicinity, but I'm no longer the president. I'm a former president. I thank God for that break. Yeah. Lord knows I thank God for that break. Because now I can do what I want to do on Mondays, and but I'm still serving the community, still serving the church, and also I'm still doing things, trying to stay socially engaged to be able to focus on the least, the lost, and the left out.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because a lot of times those are the ones that we forget about. We do forget about them ones.
And like even with my church, we do a lot of mission work, a lot of community outreach. Because one of the things I believe that is important for the church, not only to be in the church, but that the church will leave the four walls of the church, because the church is not where we are, the church is who we are. And so when we do that, then we really are being the church.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And we be seeing what you're doing on Facebook. You guys are definitely doing a lot for the community. So it's going to take all of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to take all of us.
Yep. We need to take our communities back.
Yep. So before we went to break, and Pastor Floyd, you was heard me and Roz discuss, and we were talking about grief, of how you know, in our African American community, that we wasn't really taught how to grieve healthy. You know, so a lot of us are still going through trauma of death of loved ones, you know, and stuck in different places because we don't know. No one has never told us.
Well, grief is a very, very interesting subject. I mean, when you're talking about grief, everyone has dealt with it in their own way. If you don't know, my brother, Rufus Bennett Jr., passed about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And so, well, actually, about 4 weeks ago. And so I had to deal with the grief process. And some of the part of grief that we don't first really deal with is the first thing I think is the denial process, because we're not really in reality that it really has happened, that it's really going on, because in our mind we expect people to be with us always. But from a biblical point of view, that we all were born with a due date.
Amen.
We always talk about our birth date, but we do also have a due date, and it's not based on age. It's not based on, you know, this or that. Only God knows our due date, but while we're alive, we're supposed to make the best of our life. My brother was 41 years old, never had a sickness, never had a problem, never had an issue, never had anything wrong with him, and boom, like that. No call. Still, everything was included, but it was hard in the initial grief process, because now first, am I in reality? Is this really happening? Like I didn't believe it was really happening until I saw him. And so sometimes you're like, is this really going on? Is this really happening? Is this really reality? Is this really real? And then you go through a part of denial. And then after that, people grieve differently. So some people may grieve before, some people grieve during, some people grieve after. And so I grieved before. The day of, I didn't really grieve, because I felt like I had to be strong for my family. But then I began to grieve a little bit after, as like I'll see something that remind me of my brother, and I'll think about it, and it caused me to break down. But what I realize and I understand about grief is that I don't grieve as hard when I know the person have a relationship with the Lord from a preacher perspective, because guess what? They're not grieving. We're grieving. So that's one of the things, and also in the grief as it relates to my brother and having a relationship. The good thing is before he passed on, he had a relationship with God, and so he's not grieving. So I had to begin to wrestle with that within my own self. Am I being selfish? Right? Am I being self-centered, that it's me around me, when realizing that God has a time for everyone? So grief is a very interesting subject, because most of the time we might have a loved one that's sick, or have a loved one that's at the last stage, have been sick for years, but we want to keep them because of how we feel and not based on how they feel. So those are some things, and it's going to come from a different perspective from me because I'm looking at things from a different lens. Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely, as far as my mom, I feel like, well, I know that she's in a better place, right? She like, my mom definitely had a relationship with God and all that. And I know that her pain, I know that she was suffering. My mom had COPD. She had it for years or what have. Again, this still happened unexpectedly because she had been living with it for years. So I'm not at that part where, I wouldn't want my mom to continue suffering, right?
Yeah.
I do believe that her pain has ended. However, I still also believe that my pain has begun because I haven't grieved this. And like you say, you have to be strong. I feel like I haven't had a chance to even have my process yet because I have 4 children. And some of you may know, once my mom, passed away, my sister had to be put in the hospital on suicide watch for a time. So it's only me and my sister, so I had to plan a funeral. I had to do all this, and I had to show this strong face for everyone and get this done. Because I'm like, one thing my mother knew about me is I'm going to get stuff done.
Yes.
So I had to get stuff done. But getting stuff done, I didn't do what I need to do for myself. So now I'm 85 days in it, like, listen, I got to stop. I got to do something because now I got to get what I need to do for myself, for my healing.
Well, I would say this. The good thing is you actually know that you're grieving.
Right.
Because some people are in denial of the fact they're even grieving or that it's even bothering them. And then that's where people have mental breakdowns and mental instability. But the reality, one of the things that she said that was very poignant and pertinent is that need a break. And so you will never get over your mother.
Never.
You will never get, like I would never get over my brother. My brother, he used to, he used to carry me on his back, feed me, wear his hand-me-down clothes. You'll never get over it, but you do need time to psychologically be able to deal with you, God, and the reality of what has happened.
That's right. That's the part right there.
Yeah.
That's the part you have to get to, because I know with me, with burying my child, and when it comes to grief, we all like, oh my God, this is the greatest. You know what I'm saying? It's the most painful thing to experience death of any loved one, right?
Yeah.
And so for me is that my daughter now has been gone for 12 years. But every day it can be like it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Every day. Any day I wake up. And it's all because of my relationship with God and it's like God had, when I started going through all this death stuff with my sister, God put me on a path for all of this. And so like every time he gets me to studying things and trying to figure it out, because what I understood, I asked him that for me, with my daughter going through this, that I want to be able to change legacy within my family. See, before it spreads out to everybody else what I give, my goal is my family and my legacy. So I have to learn how to do all of this, grieve, so I can then give that to my sons who are now taking care of my grandsons. That's how you change it. That's how you learn. You know what I'm saying?
Well, from my perspective as a minister and as a preacher, with all the stuff that's going on in the world, I don't see how people don't have faith and don't have a relationship with the God and don't go to church, because that's the release.
Some people are mad at God.
Yeah, I know, but see, here's the thing: being mad at God ain't gonna help you.
It sure ain't.
It's not gonna help you.
But in your mind at that time,
but they still say they hate God. So, I don't like God because my mama died.
So for the thing, and people who say I hate God because my mama died, my father died, my sister died, my brother died, they're not reading the guide that says we all are gonna have to check out this place. That's a point of reality, and God is too wise to make any mistake. He's too wise to make any mistake. One of the biggest things that I had, that some of my sisters and brothers and even, some people in my family, after my brother passed away, they sat in the house and they were grieving, yes. Then they were grieving, but never had a time to have a spiritual release. Never had a time to praise and to worship and to have a spiritual release. And I think that's one of the biggest things, because if you bottle that thing up and you sit there and let that anger seep in, the only thing you're gonna be broken and never be better. You're gonna be bitter. You're gonna be hurt, and hurt will produce hurt.
Yes, and it also internalizes inside the body because of the dis-ease of the body. Then it start cancers and things like that start growing.
You check out just like the person that checked out before you.
But you know what? And it's crazy. I'm so glad you said that, because in our human mind, we don't think that we don't think that far enough to know that we can be next. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't think our minds push us that far to see it like that. It's all about like now.
Yeah, and I thought about some things even in my grieving process, and it's amazing that this is the topic today because this is new. This ain't nothing. This not nothing that just happened last year or 2 years. This happened like 3-4 weeks ago. My older brother. I mean, I don't have any more brothers now. I only have sisters, and so and with all this happening, what God began to show me as it relates to the relationship part of it is that it's important to have a relationship with God. Yeah. Because how you handle things is basically how you sit how you see. Mm-hmm. You sit how you see. And so I have a rock to cry on. But here's the thing I had to think about. Does my brother want me to stop living because he's not living? Mm-hmm. Or will my brother want me to continue on to live in spite of what has happened to him? Mm-hmm. You follow me? Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to say, where I'm at, I get all of that, but it's still a process. Mm-hmm. I know my mother will want me to go on. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say that I am mad at God. I will say that I'm spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally drained. Absolutely. I don't know what I am right now. I'm really still trying to process and figure out. So I would be a lie if I sit here and be like, I know that God don't make no mistakes. Right now, that's not even what I'm hearing right now. That's not even what my mindset is in right now. What I hear right now is my mother is gone. Absolutely. That's it. My mother is gone. My 4 kids are crying every day. My husband is so disconnected. That's all I hear right now. I have not got to the process where I can deal with the other things yet. Right. And that's the thing. I think sometimes when we go to the pastors and the ministry, they want to give you all of this, and I get it. But I'm like, listen to me right now. Like, don't feed me with all of this because I'm not there today.
Because what happens is that when it comes like that, it becomes so cliche, Pastor Floyd. It becomes so cliche, like, they're in a better place and God don't make no mistakes, and we know all that, right? Yeah. But sometimes you gotta look at the reality. You gotta know, like for me, I say, well, God didn't make no mistake, no, but this person did because he murdered my daughter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about seeing it in the reality of it. And that's why I say with like our culture, we have been robbed of that. You want to take a break?
Well, let me say, I just want to say something. And I know it's a tough subject, but one of the things I think is important, as I said, stating in the beginning, is to have that mental break. And the problem is how I'm going to get that break. That's the thing. And what it sounds like, with all the stuff, like you said, the baby's crying, all that, that's where a lot of the stress is continuing, because now stress upon stress upon stress, and it's just building. It's mounting. And it is healthy to take a break. It is healthy to figure out how to take a break one day, or schedule some time, at least a week to take a break. Because even for me in March, at the end, I'm taking a break so I can get away from my own mental, because I had not been able to properly grieve, because I still had to go with pastor, and I still had to deal with different things.
And family, that's the part that we're saying, because we're so busy doing everything else. The grief part get lost, and we're just continue to walk around in pain, going through all these things. Yeah. And so that's why we got to teach a whole culture of people of how to deal with when people are just grieving. Like, let's just cut all the bull crap. Like, and I know, because I have been on the other side of somebody grieving and not knowing what to say, and you just trying to find something to say when you could just. That's the perfect thing to say.
That's the perfect answer.
That's the perfect thing to say. Just give them a hug.
But I will say this. I will say this. In the black community, one of the biggest problems we have in the black community is that we think, there is a curse word to go see a psychologist or counselor.
Yes. Because that's how we was taught.
That's how we was taught. You was told you was crazy.
You're crazy if you go see it. No, actually, you're crazy if you don't. You crazy if you don't.
And we don't realize that until we're in it.
It's
That we're
the
crazy
reverse.
we don't.
Right.
That's what we realize.
It's the reverse. So it's nothing wrong with going to see a counselor. Like, for example, you need to go see a grief counselor, somebody to talk to about how to handle your grief.
Yes.
Because at the given moment, you may not be able to figure out, okay, maybe I do need a break. Maybe the reason why the kids are knowing, maybe the reason why the family is knowing, maybe the reason is because I need a break. I need to stop.
Yeah.
I need to be on somebody's beach. I need to be at Surfside in Florida. I need to be, somewhere else other than the environment I'm in to be able to allow my mind to rest. Because if I'm in this environment, then I'm going to continue to build that stress. And I'm already stressed. I'm already dealing with this. And so one of the things is, I would suggest to anybody that's grieving that you can go see a counselor. Now, there's different kind of counselors. There's secular counselors, there's Christian counselors, but see somebody that be able to help you process through the situation you're in. Now, when you go through counseling, it actually helps you in a better way than trying to figure it out on yourself, on your own.
It
because
helps you through
may
that process.
not be able to figure it out.
It helps you through that process. It teaches you about the cycle that you're in. It teaches you all of that. It's just like, it's a thing that if you don't know, you don't know. Mm-hmm. You just don't know. But we got to get comfortable to say, okay, I don't know this. I am, and being true to our feelings. Okay, I'm feeling something. I'm going through something. Let me just go see what this is about. Start your own research. Mostly everything. This is what I have learned to get so much out of your doctors. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Before anything, do your own research, because they respond to people that know their language. They respond to people that know their language. Talk to them. Get to know what's going on. Okay, have some type of information of what you're going through.
And that's exactly why I put my kids in counseling, because I don't want them to grow up thinking that therapy is a bad thing, right? I have 4 African American kids, and of course I was told,
and got 3 boys who in our culture, so many of our boys grow up
holding their emotions in, because we were taught that a man don't cry and don't do that.
Feelings.
So all 4 of my kids are in therapy because I don't want them to be like me.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want them to be like me. I don't want them.
But that's our job as parents.
Is that I don't want them to heal unhealthy or not know how. I want them to properly heal. So they have grief counselor. They also have relationship with the pastor, because I feel like it's all together. Like it takes a whole
community,
full circle.
that whole village.
The whole village.
But you need a break, and not only do you need a break, you need to grief counsel yourself.
I know.
So you'll be able to, because here's the thing: the children will end up being able to handle and deal with it, and you still will be irritated. Even you'll be irritated. Then there might be a situation that come up that it may be a small situation, but it go boom, and when it blow up,
I agree.
It blows up.
I'm not disagreeing. I definitely do agree. My husband and I just had this conversation because he said, "Listen, we sit down and talk about 2020. He was like, I need you to go to counseling. And I looked at him and I was like, I know I need to go. He was like, no, I don't need you to know you need to go.
Right.
You need to go.
I need you to go.
Right.
Like,
Get
you've
in your
been
car.
knowing you needed to go.
That's what I'm saying, because you know, in everything that we do, in the work that we do, we always got the scenario of how they say when you're on an airplane and you have a child, is that if something goes on and those oxygen masks drop down, they tell you
your mask on first, and then
you save yourself, and then you save everybody.
Can't
else
save
around
you if I can't save me.
I can't save somebody else and not save me.
Right.
It's like being
Can't do
poor.
that.
It's like being poor. A poor man can't help another poor man.
That's right.
The only way you can help a poor man is by being a rich man. Mm-hmm. See, I can't give you nothing. I don't have nothing.
Nothing. Can't give you nothing I don't have.
Yeah, I can't give you nothing I don't have. And so the same thing when it comes to counseling, you can't help somebody else till you get yourself help. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, because everything gonna go top down. Mm-hmm. Everything leadership is top down.
That's right.
If you go to church, it's top down. When you go talk about at your job is top down. Mm-hmm. When you talking about academically, it's top down. When even in the house, it's top down. So if your husband is straight, and then you still going through your most part and hadn't have counseling, then the children, it's a missing link, and that's the in between. So it goes from the top down. And so it's important. It's important for everybody to really go through counseling. And not just for grief. Right. If you have any type of problems that you have, you should see somebody that can help you and stop trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Because the only person that we end up hurting is ourselves, because we have not been able to funnel through what the actual issue may be.
Yeah, and we're living in a generation now that has, now we're going to get on spiritual religion, is that we're living in a generation now who is finally waking up to a new conscious of spirituality when it comes to religion. Because with religion will have people, I have watched my grandmother and aunts and them, when it came to God, it was always that, when you go through something, you could just pray. And it could just pray everything away. And so what we have learned now is that it was another part to that. Always pray, most definitely. You pray, but then what is that action that's going to be behind the prayer? It always have to be an action on your part behind the prayer.
Can't pray to lose weight and keep on eating all day.
Exactly. You can pray all day. God, I ain't going to do all that, but we're going to do that. So, but it takes an action to push the prayer. And so for a long time in religion, we didn't know that, because I grew up in the church and I never heard it. Never.
Counseling?
Never heard. You talk to the pastor and whatever he agreed to, that's what you went with.
But he is a mighty counselor, though.
But we all know now that if he's not educated and the psychological thing of the brain and how it works and stuff, then he's going to be just like me. He's going to be going off of what he experienced.
Well, a lot of times in churches, you do need, there's two different things. There's counseling and there's pastoral care. Mm-hmm. So counseling is when you see someone who may be specialized in a specific concentration to be able to give you wise advice and counsel. Pastoral care is the same, is a part of the same, it's the same car, but just have different color wheels. Mm-hmm. Because pastoral care is from a spiritual point of view that I'm trying to help you spiritually get through. Like, for example, if you come to me and I'm talking about pastoral care, I'm going to say, all right, let me pray with you. How are you feeling? What's going on? The counselor may say, they may not do as much prayer, but they're going to do, okay, when did you start feeling this way? Mm-hmm. How did you start feeling it? So it's important to have a little bit of both.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
But then you have some pastors who are both equipped to do pastoral care and counseling, but it just depends on the pastor.
Absolutely.
And his field, his background.
Absolutely. And see, now we're waking up to a new day of that. You have more educated pastors. My pastor used to drive. Why am I great? But I'm sorry about that. But my pastor, he didn't do all that. He drove a taxi cab for a living. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Not saying that he was an ignorant man by a long shot, but just the qualifications have changed.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, they had educated pastors back then. They had pastors who not educated. I think the thing is not education as more as expertise, because that man in that cab can teach you way more than somebody with some degrees. Listen, I'm telling you something.
I don't have a degree. I don't have a degree,
because when you down and out, you going to need somebody to come in there and pray with you. And he going to take that same cab, show up at that hospital and pray for. Take that same cab, go to your mama's house and tell them your mothers or your fathers or your cousins or your sisters, tell them everything going to be all right. So I don't think it's necessarily, education is important, but I think it's the expertise that the person has, because there are some people who go to places where the pastor has 10 degrees but won't speak to them. You know what I'm saying? Have 10 degrees, but you're sick and not going to visit. You got 20 degrees, but it's not going to be there when you need them.
That's true.
And so those are different. I'd rather have a pastor that drive a taxi cab and come visit me when I'm sick.
Oh, then he will. He did. See, I don't want you to think
somebody got 10 degrees and I got to make an appointment.
I don't want you to think I'm getting caught up that he drove a taxi cab.
I just want to make a point.
Oh, okay.
I get your point.
I was just getting ready to say that just from that old culture.
Yeah,
it was
got
just the old culture of what it was. That's what I'm saying.
I just rather.
Like I said, he was a very intelligent, smart man of God. Very intelligent. I learned a lot from him as a kid. I grew up under his pastor as a kid. But what I'm saying is that it's because of that generation. We're not that far from that.
And the reason I say that is because before I did all this stuff, I used to drive taxi cabs.
So he took it
I took a real person.
So don't take it personal.
I drove one.
Nothing I say is personal.
I needed a laugh. They know I needed a laugh. He said I used to drive a taxi cab. So you ain't about to be stepping on my toes.
I visit everyone.
And that's true. He's always come visit everybody at the house and everything. But no, I wasn't saying
I'm
about
just
that.
I'm messing around.
But that is true. Some of these pastors have gotten so far removed from what it is they really supposed to be doing. So I get it. If you driving a taxi, but you gonna come visit me when I need you, but you got 10 degrees and I gotta shake your assistant's hand, and I never even get to see you. I'm going with the taxi all day.
I went to a church. I stayed at a church for 6 years, and in a church they had no funerals and no weddings. The pastor said they wasn't doing them. So if I would have died in that 6-year period of me giving my tithes to that church, that I would have had to search for another church to even have my funeral.
Well, here's the thing: you joined it.
I know.
You joined
it. Knowingly.
Yeah. You
know. Knowingly.
And so,
but when you know better, you do better. So as you learn, when you like, I was doing that.
But the one thing what I learned, what I loved about it because it was like we studied a lot.
Yeah.
We studied a lot. So I read a lot of books and did a lot of things. That's what really caught me. But as I started growing in God, God removed me.
Well, I'll tell you this. One of the things is a paradigm shift in the church because just the fact of grief and the fact of going through issues and struggles and problems, a lot of people are moving from the mega church and moving to the community church and moving to the churches where you can identify with the pastor, you can shake their hand. A lot of millennials are actually moving from the mega church, moving to churches where people would, that the pastor know your name.
Yes.
Where if you get sick, they're gonna call you.
Yep.
If you need, if your mama, sister, brother, father, cousin, brother, that somebody gonna call you, send a card, and he might even come visit you, say how you doing, or she, but it's a paradigm shift because sometimes we get caught up in grand and glorious, not realize that there are some people who God assigned to us specifically, and we don't want to miss that because when you're going through, that's really when the pastor counts, when you're going through. It's not just a Sunday morning worship. Yep. When you're going through, can somebody say, you know what, everything gonna be all right, or when you're going through, someone say, I'm praying for.
But like I was going to say, like you said, just somebody to pray with you. Like that was huge for me. When my daughter passed, I had so many people was trying to give me drinks. I had people trying to give me marijuana. They wanted to take me out. They wanted to do everything. And only one group of sisters came to that house. And these wasn't even my best friends I was rolling with. They wasn't praying. Yeah. But it was another group of sisters that I knew. They came. The first thing they came to the door, they went, let me pray with you. Yeah. Another sister that was into God said, you know what, are you sleeping that night? I know you're not. Once I put my son in the bed, I'm going to come here and just sit up with you. I'm going to sit across from you. That's it. And she did it. And that was somebody else's friend. It was none of my friends. It was nobody that I rode with. It was nothing. But God had a team lined up for me, though.
Well, did God show you needed some new friends?
What? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I have really learned about friendship, relationship, and all that as of October the 12th at 10:45
Yeah, that's
p.m.
what death does.
Literally, I've had people who I thought would be right there with me wasn't there. People who I didn't even expect to be there sat right on my couch and said nothing to me because I didn't want to say nothing. And when I wanted a hug, they was right there to hug me. And when I wanted to cry, they just handed me the tissue. And when I wanted to talk, they was there to talk to me. Not the circle I thought was going to be there, some of them, but not the circle I thought. And I looked around and I said, my God. All this time I was trying to figure out how I was going to remove people that you didn't want in my life, and look, they just all pluffered away. All of them just run away. And then so now it's different. Like you said, you just wanted somebody to come there. And I do like the church I go to because it's a small church. And when my mom passed away, in come my pastor, and everybody in my congregation, it was like a revolving door. They all just kind of walk through that. And I needed that. I didn't need to set up an appointment with the pastor. I needed the pastor to come see me. Right. Because I ain't even got the strength to even make an appointment to see anybody's pastor, So, I mean, those things I definitely, like you said, you want your pastor when you need him. Not about Sunday, but when it's a time when you need him.
But it is important to notify your pastor, though, because sometimes the pastor be moving. I know I be moving. Please set an appointment and call me.
Yeah, you be moving. But if somebody call you and say that one of your congregants, something has happened.
And that's what happened. My
husband called. Pause it, and you're going to go take
my husband called and told my pastor, and our pastor.
And he showed up, because he wouldn't know unless you called. all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, he knew. My husband told him, and he showed up.
Now, if he knew, then that's a whole different. Yeah. So
he brought chicken too.
What do you want? Some whiting?
I just wanted some bread. Can we pass the bread? I just wanted bread.
Yeah.
Like, I don't eat chicken.
Look at her. She's feeling better now.
But it's good because
She's feeling better.
Yes, I am.
I'm
hungry.
We weren't even supposed to be talking about this. I tell you, this was not on the list to even talk
about. But I do
appreciate
it. I do appreciate it. And I appreciate that I got some of the things I need to say out because Mignon said it best because I was not trying to be disrespectful at all. But it has gotten cliche when sometimes when you speak to pastors and the first thing they say, God doesn't make no mistake. You know God love you. He doesn't. I know all of that. But today I just need you to listen so I can cry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but a lot of things is not what is said, it's how we receive it. Mm-hmm. And when we receive it. So something can be absolutely 100% right. But if we're not in the posture to receive it, it'll be 100% wrong. Mm-hmm. So so that is not necessarily what the pastor is saying.
It's the timing. It's the timing.
It's not just the timing either. It's the place that you're in when it's said.
Which is my timing.
Yeah.
Place and time.
Because you may never be able to receive it. Some people may be at some point in their life where no matter what, they're not going to be able to receive it, right?
True.
And I know that because absolutely I am in I've witnessed a lot of grieving moms. I know a lot of grieving moms, and it's just like that. Some of them they say out their mouth that I don't want to move from this place, that place of pain and what has happened. It's hard for them to do that. Mm-hmm. It's hard for them to move away from it. Mm. Some people still have rooms decorated, with their child. It's a lot of things what people go through. That's why we have to be so sensitive, because we don't know who going through what. Yeah. Now, all we got to do is get to understand that everybody is grieving something. Yeah. And be mindful of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to know what I'm going through, but just understand that I'm going through something.
Yeah. I mean, you made a powerful point. It may be the right thing, but just at the wrong.
Absolutely.
I'm not even hearing it how you saying it. My perception of what you're trying to give me right now is I block it, and that came to the thing. It make me shut down. Even when I get the message like, the cliche message, sorry for your loss, I'm praying for you. Did you really pray for me? Because that's just what we say. Mm-hmm. You ain't thought no more about me after you sent that message. You know what I'm saying? So then I started shutting down with all the people saying that I'm praying for you and I'm here for you. If I need you, my mom died, I need you. Mm-hmm. It's not I'm here for you if you need, I need you. Mm-hmm. My mom is gone. I can't cook dinner today. Mm-hmm. I can't tell my daughter how to not cry at night. I can't hold my son. I need you. So don't tell me I'm here if you need me, because I'm telling you my mom is gone. You know what I'm saying?
But then the thing about it is, when you say, some people say that, well, I'm here when you need me, but sometimes you being able to articulate what you need.
You don't know what you need,
and
though.
Exactly, because everybody is not. So if I say I'm here when you need me, and you say I need you, but I don't know what you need. So you say I need you to do this, do that. But at that point, even still, it's going to be a disconnect, because you mentally can't even tell them what you need, because right now you're confused about what you need.
Just sit here until I figure it out.
But from a pastoral perspective, in a real sense, I know one thing is that we only can receive as much as we are able to retain. For example, in different points, times, and seasons of our lives, we can receive different things. Mm-hmm. So as it relates to, it's like me telling my congregation, you need to cut out doing this and don't be getting drunk. And people like, okay, but they still Saturday they're gonna get drunk, But then when they liver pop, they're like, Pastor, you got a point. You know what I'm saying? Or it might be like, get your finances in order and be a good steward over your funds. But then when you broke, busted, stuff, it can't be trusted. Then you're like, okay, you got a point. Mm-hmm. So even with grief, there's a point where somebody might say, well, go see a counselor. But when you sitting in, by yourself, lights off, one day it's like a pop, like, you know what, I need a counselor. Mm-hmm. And so it's a thing of everything is about how you where you sit, how you see, where you are.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know what I need. 1 minute I was crying, the next minute I'm laughing. 1 minute I need a hug, the next minute I don't. I cannot honestly articulate what it is that I need, because what I need changes by the second. And so that's why I appreciate the people who sat on my couch. Some spend the night with me, a couple spend the night, because when I wanted to laugh, they laugh, and when I wanted to cry, I cry. When I wanted to binge watch whatever dumb TV show I was watching, that's what they did. Because you just really don't know. I couldn't even know how to tell you what it is. And right now I know I need a break.
And And
Yes,
I know, and
you need a break.
I'm going to say this because I know sometimes, like when it comes to grief, I know, and a lot of times we lose different friends and stuff, and people, even family members. We lose different family members because of maybe they didn't say something right to us, maybe they came, maybe they didn't or something. But we got to understand that everybody plays a certain part. Like the ones that we want to play, because what we got to realize is that it's not about us. It ain't what we need, it's what God need to happen. So a lot of times the things what we need, it don't happen because that's not what God needs. So when it comes to people, he got certain people, like them people that was all around me that time when my daughter died. I see none of those people now. I see none of them. But they was there for me at that moment, and I learned to appreciate them for that moment, and I would love them forever. They ain't got to walk with me every day because their time was up. They played their part in my life. And so that's why I look at it now from a point like, because this weekend I had spent some time with some old friends that I thought that I was through with them. But now they in my life again, so I'm like, okay, God, and what does this season bring? What I learned?
Well, some people are in seasonal.
Everybody is. Everybody is in somebody's life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. Sometimes people don't want to believe it when they send it to somebody else. But you are too. You are a season, a reason, and a lifetime. Everybody ain't going to walk with you at all times. Everybody ain't going to do or give you what you need. But I guarantee you, God going to have somebody there for you. It may not be who you want, but he going to have somebody there for you.
My season has changed.
So that's it just grows over time. See, I'm older than both of y'all. You know, I got to throw you because you know I always say something. But I'm just saying, I'm just speaking from experience because now I'm in a whole different realm of life. I didn't have my 50th birthday. So
I'm about to say that. You didn't hit 50.
So life now looks totally different from me when I was 38.
Where's my invitation?
When I was 39. You know what I'm saying? Life is totally different.
It was ladies only.
The 39-year-old Mignon wouldn't even been sitting right here doing none of this. And look, you 39 and you doing it. 30-year-old Mignon wouldn't been sitting here doing this.
I just turned 39. 1
So,
year in.
yeah.
I mean, 1 month in.
So life just changes, guys. And so with me, you know, God is just showing me so much more. And, you know, because in life things changes. People come. I've lived long enough for people to come back and forth and back and forth. And what God showed me when I started my own personal journey learning Him, and not what my grandmama taught me and my aunts and them taught me, but what I learned for myself. Now He speaks to me and He shows me things, and I ain't got to worry about nobody else. You know what I'm saying? I trust that the voice that I hear is Him, and I move when He say move.
There you have it.
So we gotta make sure that that's what we're doing at all time, because life is always evolving.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 39 and I'm still growing, so
yes,
I feel how I feel.
Yes, little sis.
I feel how I feel, and seasons has changed. And like I said last week, there's room at the top for all of us. I want us all to eat. Everybody just not eating at the table with me. Doesn't mean I don't want you to eat. I'm just saying you're not eating at the table with me.
That's true.
And that's just how I am.
And that's protecting your space and your peace of mind.
Yep.
That's just all what it is.
And 2020
that shouldn't
perfect
be taken
vision.
Personal, because that's just space and peace. Everybody wants their peace.
And in my perfect vision, I need it.
Peace, then you have to accept that you have to move on.
Amen.
That's the bottom line of that.
Yep.
So, Pastor Floyd, can you definitely tell them how they can get in contact with you?
Well, Pastor L.K. Floyd, you can reach me on Facebook at L.K. Floyd, L.K. L.K. Floyd, Instagram, L.K. Floyd. Also want to share that I have a book coming out on March the 6th, Friday, March 6th, From Doubt to Destiny, Understanding Your Purpose, Understanding God Has a Plan. And we're having a book release on March the 6th and a birthday party together. Okay, so we would love for you all to come on March the 6th. And so we're looking forward to that. And so you can reach me on Facebook, LK Floyd, Instagram, LK Floyd, or you can email me, pastorlkfloyd@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
And you can visit me on Sunday at Heart Changes Baptist Church, 12201 New Hampshire Avenue, Silver Spring, Maryland, at 10 a.m. for our Sunday worship service.
Amen. Roz?
I'm sorry. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Manly's Blended Family. You can email at manlysblendedfamily@outlook.com. My website, manlysblendedfamily.com. I'm sorry, I just had a moment. manlysblendedfamily.com. Yes.
And you guys know you can always follow me on Instagram and Facebook at NBA Speaks. Check out my website, nbaspeaks.com. We want to thank you guys again for tuning in.
Everybody on Facebook, hello. Hey,
yes,
Tacola.
everybody on Facebook, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Please, 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 please share this video, guys. You know, you never know who you may be helping. Someone that's really in a very dark place right now. So, you know, it's all about sharing the knowledge, guys. So definitely share the video. We want to thank you for watching. We want to thank our sponsors, Manly Blended Family, and also the Lakeisha Brown Foundation. We will be back next week with another amazing guest. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Been a long time ill. Hey, I watch a bugger it. We're gonna start off in cruise control for you, baby. And nice and easy, Miller. Gonna do this for all the sexy Aquarians in here. Happy birthday to you, baby. Let the bugger watch here. Happy birthday to Miss Sabrina. Yes, right, baby. What you say, baby? I'm coming to you. And Mr. Danny got a birthday. Happy birthday to you, Danny. What you got for me, baby? A big paw. Happy B-Day to Big Paw. Watch the pocket, watch here. And Lauren got a birthday. That's coming from the sexy Troy. Too smooth, Troy. That's right. That's right. Shout out to all the sexy Aquariuses in here. All right. Hey, I Belladonna, watch the Baba do the work. He's up on him, Cherie. Sweet Cherie, baby. Yes, indeed. Hey.
Take the lead tonight. Who's gonna be?